UFC Fight Night, Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer, full card predictions. Now I know, boys, we took another break. I've been going through some technical difficulties. It's not on purpose. I've been dealing with a couple technical difficulties. We're getting it sorted out. And of course, I got y'all, boys. As always, we ain't going nowhere. Check our Instagram out. We have been cashing out on these past couple cards, doing our thing. As always, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event, Adesanya versus Bruno Brazil. I'm going Bruno Brazil. I'm just kidding, boys. Adesanya, I think that's how you say her name. She's a little too happy whenever she fights. She's hella happy, hella energetic. She's 13-1. She's, I think, the biggest favorite on the card at the moment. I mean, rightfully so. She's nasty. She's a minus. At the time of recording this, she's a minus 650. I wouldn't be surprised if she's like a minus 800 come fight night. She's a good grappler. And I think Bruno Brazil's good, but she might get bulldozed in this matchup. So I'm going to have to go with Adesanya to get it done. Not really much to say here. I wouldn't play over 2.5. I know a lot of guys like playing over 2.5 in women's fights. Adesanya, I'll just show you guys some real quick. There you go. She's a grappler, and she has a lot of wins by submission. So I wouldn't play that. But, I mean, of course, it's a women's fight. It's possible. But Adesanya is really, really someone you should really be on the lookout for in this division. Give me her to win. Honestly, maybe by submission. But I think Bruno Brazil can force a decision. It just depends. To be honest, I wouldn't even, like I said, I'm not betting props in a women's fight, first fight of the night. You know, you never know what's going to happen. Moving on up the card, we have Ricky Simón versus Adrian Yanez. I'm going to have to go Ricky Simón. I wanted to go Yanez at first. Yanez is a really crisp striker. I think he's a really good striker. Problem is, he did just get held down by Daniel Marcos in his last fight. I think his last fight was Daniel Marcos. Let me just check that real quick. But, he got held down by Daniel Marcos, bro. What is Ricky Simón going to do to you? You know what I mean? Yeah, his last fight was Daniel Marcos. Split decision. You know what I'm saying? It most definitely can be a close fight. The problem is Daniel Marcos is actually pretty durable, though. And Ricky Simón, his chin has been checked a couple times before, so I don't know. Ricky Simón hasn't lost by KO in a little bit, but his chin got checked before. Adrian Yanez has power in his hands, really crisp striker. I thought he beat Daniel Marcos, but I'm gonna have to go Ricky Simón in this fight. He just came off a loss against Hani Barcelos, and we're comparing Hani Barcelos to, Daniel Marcos. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to go Ricky Simón, but Adrian Yanez can make it close, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Moving on up the card, we have Navajo Sterling versus Bruno Lopez. I'm going to go Navajo Sterling. Navajo Sterling, even though he's not the prospect, I guess you could say that we all thought he was going to be a KO artist, he's nasty. You know what I'm saying? He's a nasty striker. He has been going to decision recently, but I'm just really confident in him to spark Bruno Lopez, who got sparked so badly against Dustin Jacoby. I think that's how you say it. But, man, he got sparked bad. Yeah. It was a minute in. I actually had Bruno Lopez to get it done too. I thought he was going to get the grappling going. But Bruno Lopez does have the threat of the takedown in this fight. I don't think it's going to matter though. I think Sterling's going to spark him up again. Give me Navajo Sterling by second round KO. I see a second round KO even happening. It's just Bruno Lopez, but that was a nasty KO. But then again, Navajo Sterling, he doesn't really get KOs like that when he needs to. But you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised. Moving on up the card, we have Casey O'Neill versus Gabriela Fernandez. Casey O'Neill is a baddie, right? Who do you think the UFC is trying to push, boys? Who do you think the UFC is trying to push? They got a baddie fighting a Brazilian. Nah, honestly, I'm going to have to go Gabriel Fernandez, bro. Casey O'Neill's good. I just don't know with this fight. It's kind of a coin flip. Over 2.5 sounds pretty sound for this fight. You know what I'm saying, lad? Sounds pretty sound, but I really don't have a pick for this fight. It's such a coin flip. I'm gonna go Gabriel Fernandez, but I don't really have a pick for this fight. I'm gonna go Gabriel Fernandez though. Moving on up the card, we have Mycene Tyburo versus Tyrell Fortune. It's kind of a tough last name. I'm gonna have to go. I don't know. I'm gonna go Tyrell. I think Tyrell Fortune, he can get it done. Mycene Tyburo literally just got blob maxed, KO'd in the first round against Ante Delija. But Mycene Tyburo has the UFC experience, a really good fraud checker. But I think Fortune, being a wrestler, he can get Tyburo down. And I think in the heavyweight division, when you're fat, I'm sorry, Tyburo, but when you're fat and a guy's trying to wrestle you and he gets a takedown, it takes a little minute for you to get up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go Tyrell Fortune. But boys, in almost every Tyburo fight, the odds are close. At least in his past 4 fights, the odds have been close. He's a coin flip. He's a coin flip. Every time he fights, he's a coin flip. So I'm gonna have to go Tyrell Fortune though. I feel like he get it done. Moving on up the card, we have Chase Hooper versus Lance Gibson Jr. If you guys don't know who Lance Gibson Jr. is, he just fought Bobby Green. And that was the guy that Bobby Green literally just walked down. Bobby Green literally just walked him down. Did not show any respect for anything he was throwing. And he pretty much masterclassed him. I'm going to have to go Chase Hooper. I think Chase Hooper has just beaten the better guys. He got knocked down by Alex Hernandez. Cool. Alexander Hernandez has been looking really good in his past couple fights. Even though he pulled out of that Michael Johnson fight, he's on a little bit of a hot streak. He knocked out Diego Ferreira. So I'm kind of going to have to lean Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper has really good wins under his belt. He was on a 5-fight win streak, I believe, before that loss to Hernandez came about. And he beat Jim Miller. So with that being said, I am going to have to go Chase Hooper. I think Lance Gibson was really can crushing. I mean, like, his first fight back in the UFC was Bobby Green. They're trying to push this guy like really hard, bro, because like, how do you get Bobby Green after, like, I mean, you did okay on the regional scene, but you're versing Cans. He's beat him in the first round, I guess. That's what really counts. I don't know. But I'm going to have to go Chase Hooper. I think he has to just make sure he's good on the feet, but he's levels above Lance Gibson in the grappling, in my opinion. And moving on up to the featured prelim, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Tofik Musayev. I'm going to go Bahamondes, bro. Bahamondes, people forget, man. Bahamondes knocked out Manuel Torres in the first round. Yes, he did struggle with Fiziev, but Fiziev is tricky for some people. But give me Ignacio Bahamondes. He trains with Bilal. He's a really, I still think he's a really good prospect or a really good contender. And I think he's going to get this win. Hopefully maybe get someone a little closer to the rankings. And I think he's going to prove himself because this guy's nasty. He's 6'3" at lightweight. Which in all honesty, I think he can even go to welterweight. But he might be the tallest on the roster at lightweight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. And it's just like, bro, he has power in his hands. He can, like, grapple-ish, you know what I'm saying? It's not his main go-to, but he can. I mean, bro, he's really only lost to good people. Ludwig Klein, that's not a bad loss. Fiziev, he subbed Jalen Turner. Manuel Torres knocked him out. Like, listen, bro. I always think Bahamondes is a good pick. Tofik Musayev has to make his, I believe this is his real fight. Yeah, he fought Orobai, and Orobai subbed him in the first round. And then now you're versing Bahamondes, and you're only 5'9", and it's not like this guy has the longest reach of all time. So I don't know. I honestly see a Bahamondes first round KO. Call me crazy, that's what I see. Moving on up to the main card, we have Terrence McKinney versus Kyle Nelson. Honestly, I think this is Terrence McKinney masterclass. I have a feeling that Terrence McKinney is going to come out here and masterclass Kyle Nelson. Give me Terrence McKinney to get it done in the first round, of course, because if he wins this, it's in the first round. Kyle Nelson came off a pretty much bad loss to Matt Frevola, or bad win against Matt Frevola. It was some weird stuff going on there. And Kyle Nelson is just not beating or not even losing to the guys that Terrence McKinney's losing to. You could argue he lost to Matt Favola, who is, bro, like, I'm looking at Kyle Nelson's wins, bro. Francisco Padilla, like Algeo, whatever, Algeo. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is that guy, bro? Terrence McKinney, Vyacheslav Borshev. Borshev is not that good, but he subbed him, made him look like he's trash. He knocked out Hedzovic. He's knocking these guys out in the first round. And the people he's losing to is Chris Duncan, who's been on an absolute tear, and Esteban Ribovics. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's losing to guys who aren't like the worst, and they're actually pretty good. They're on win streaks when he's losing to these guys. So, and he always gives them a run for his money. He almost knocked out Chris Duncan in the first round. So, I'm gonna have to go with Terrence McKinney. I think it might be too much for Kyle Nelson early on. And I think you have to just, there's a certain type of, like, something you got to deal with when Terrence McKinney's, like, in front of you in the octagon. It's a lot of pressure, and if you can't at least roll the punches or throw back, he's going to knock you out or he's going to sub you. So give me Terrence McKinney to get it done in the first round. Moving on up the card, we have Mansour Abdul Malik versus Yasuri Belgori. And if you don't know who Yasuri Belgori is, he just finished Azmat in his last fight. And honestly, I'm going to go Mansour by finish. Of course, by finish. I just think Yasuri's good. He's pretty slow, though. He has good striking, but I'm not going to act like Azmat, like, he couldn't have won that fight because Azmat gassed. Azmat was getting the takedowns, but the takedown attempts were shitty. They were sloppy. He was gassed. His boxing's not as crisp as Mansour. Mansour has power. And, like, if Azmat's kind of tagging you up, Mansour's going to knock your head off. If Azmat can kind of get a takedown on you, and I think Azmat, you could even argue, is, I guess, a better wrestler than Mansour. He's not as explosive, though. So I think Mansour is just going to get after it, and I think honestly, I think get a first round finish. I think, or first or second round finish. I don't know, man. I just see like Yusuri, however you say his name. He's 6'6" at middleweight. His chin is gonna get cracked, bro. Like you're a walking stick. You have good striking, cool. Your takedown defense was You know what I'm saying? Mansour's going to come out here, show levels. And even though he hasn't fought the better comp, and I guess you could say Belgori's win. Belgari? I don't know. Whatever. You could say his win's really good. It's better than any Mansour's wins, but I think it's just the eye test. And, like, just the fact that Yasuri's, like, jabbing up and, like, kind of had a performance against Azmat. Like, if Azmat was on in that fight, he would have beat him. And Mansour's like treating these guys like trash cans. And people forget, man, Mansour has a wrestling base. You know what I'm saying? He has a wrestling base. That's what he started as. So I think he's gonna come out here and just try. And I actually predicted Mansour to get a sub against Antonio Tricoli. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the sub again or a ground and pound finish. But I'm gonna have to go Mansour to get it done. Moving on up the card, we have Julian Erosa versus Lorraine Douglas. This is kind of a crazy matchup to me because, like, Julian Erosa is not a bad fighter. I don't know why, like, the odds are, like, showing that Lorraine Douglas, or however you say this guy's name, is, like, he opened up at a minus 300 favorite. That was crazy to me because, like, Erosa just went to a hard-fought decision with Costa. Melzakel Acosta. You know what I'm saying? So Douglas is not bad. He came off the Contender Series. He got a nasty first round finish, but against what? Punching bag. No disrespect to that man. He just wasn't on the same level as Douglas, and this is a huge step up in comp. Julian Erosa was a plus 240 dog. I just didn't agree with those odds, and I'm gonna have to go Erosa to get it done. Honestly, and don't be surprised if it's by finish too. Because even though he hasn't beat the best names, like bro, at least he's making them look like a bag of chips. Do you know what I'm saying? Finished them all in the first round too. So I'm gonna have to go. Julian Rosa. I think he's just a veteran in this, but his time is coming. You know, he's 36. But just don't be surprised. He's also really big for the division, bro. He's 6'1" at featherweight. The reach, the experience. I think that could all factor into this fight. So I'm gonna have to go Julian Rosa to get it done. Moving on up the card. And this is actually not Carlston Harris anymore. This is actually Nico Price. Nico Price is stepping in on short notice. I'm gonna see if I could just show you guys real quick. So yeah, here you go. Nico Price. You know, he's stepping in on short notice. How does Nico Price still have a job? And they keep laying up Michael Chiesa. What the fuck? Does Michael Chiesa have a tan going, bro? Like, what the heck? Yeah, they keep lobbing Michael Chiesa these fights. If you look at his wins, we could just go to his profile real quick just to get the names correctly. He fought tough opponents. He was fighting Sean Brady, Kevin Holland. Then he fights Tony Ferguson. Then he fights Max Griffin. Then Court McGee. And now he's fighting Nico Price. I think the UFC is trying to just lob Michael Chiesa up another win. Not saying Nico Price is the worst. You know, he's a decent striker. But Michael Chiesa's levels above him in the grappling. And Michael Chiesa does not have good grappling. But, like, I mean, it's Nico Price, bro. He's on a fat losing streak. Yeah. I think just Michael Chiesa. I mean, Michael Chiesa isn't a bum. I don't really have to break this down too much, bro. Damn. Michael Chiesa, you know what I'm saying? Moving on up the card, we have Alexa Grasso. You know what I'm saying? Alexa Grasso and shit. You know what I'm saying? Alexa Grasso and shit versus Macy Barber. I kind of want to go Grasso. I don't think Macy Barber's all that, but Alexa Grasso has not been looking good in her recent performances. But she's also losing to Valentina, who's boring, Natalia Silva, who's always on the back foot. I think the only reason... Okay, so the only reason I'm kind of hesitant on going to Grasso is because she's a slow starter, and I think Macy can just come out here and take advantage of that and maybe steal the first round, make the second round close, maybe split decision Macy Barber, or majority decision or unanimous Macy Barber, where Alexa Grasso started just too late in the fight. So I'm kind of going to stay away from this. Macy Barber, though, I'm pretty sure she pulled out against her fight against Erin Blanchfield. I'm pretty sure they had that locked in. Obviously, Blanchfield would have won that, but, like, I'm pretty sure Macy Barber got the tits done and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, bro, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it kind of just shows you where her head's at in a sense. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go Alexa Grasso. Wouldn't be surprised if Macy Barber got it done. I'm 50-50 on this. I'm going to go Alexa Grasso, though. I'll probably stay away from this fight. If, like, you want to bet it, I wouldn't recommend it. If you were to bet, maybe the money... I think the value's on Alexa Grasso. But moving on to the main card. Here's Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. And oh my gosh, bro. I'm, like, so 50-50 on this fight because it's, like... Pyfer is good, but he doesn't really do best going 5 rounds. And Israel Adesanya, this is like clockwork to him. Going 5 rounds is going to be nothing. The more I think about it, honestly, boys, I'm going to have to go Izzy. I think this is going to be Izzy's coming back into the rankings, showing that he is who he is, showing us classic style bender. Yeah, Pyfer has to get this done in the first 2 rounds. He has to, like, literally pressure Izzy, get him back up against the cage, try to knock him out, take him down. If Izzy makes it past, like a midway round 3 or, like, 2 round 3, I think he won it. I think he won the fight. But Joe Pyfer, I think he's going to slowly fade away, and I think Izzy's just going to pinpoint. That's the thing, though. Izzy point fights, man. He point fights, and he's not throwing with as much power as he used to, like 2-3 years ago. He's just not throwing with that much power. Like, he's just kind of point fighting and, like, trying to go to a decision. He's kind of like, and I don't know. I think the counter punching in this fight isn't going to, like, because, you know, Izzy's really a counter puncher. I don't think that's gonna be smart, honestly. I think he has to assert his dominance in the cage and attack the calf and really pump out a jab and keep this like at a rangy fight, because what Izzy always likes to do in his fights is he's like punch, 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 lean his head back, and he gets chinned. He can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because Pyfer will chin him. So what I'm trying to say is, if Izzy keeps this clean and slow, like tries to fight to a decision, or even throw some heat like in the first 2 rounds in some exchanges, I think that's good. Because Izzy, after the second round, if he doesn't get, he gets the KOs in the first 2 rounds. If he doesn't get the KO in the first 2 rounds, it's going to a decision. But I think Joe Pyfer is really good, but I think this is like really, really soon for him. He's ranked number 14. He's coming off a win against, what's this guy's name? That Magomedov guy. I forgot. I'm forgetting exactly, but like that was Abus Magomedov. Like, come on, bro. And now you're gonna fight Adesanya. It's not the same Adesanya as old, but he's still not a scrub. His last loss was to Imavov, the number 1 contender right now, and then his other loss besides that was the champ. So it's like, I don't know. I like Joe Pyfer to get it done. I'm just kidding, boys. Here's Adesanya. Let's go. That is the video, boys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who you guys have in these fights. If you like the picks, let me know in the comments below. Follow us on Instagram at TheScriptMMA, and I'm out.